some mango colors, orange, that light yellowy orange, pinky yellow orange. Anyway, beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay. I'm stalling. Good morning, Mary. Oh my gosh, you are up so early. Maybe you can pop on and help me. Okay, Revelation 6. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. What do we do with that on a practical level? So in my mind, the thing that just kept coming to my mind in my quiet time this morning in my spirit was the war within. That do we not go through seasons in our life where we are kind of like the white horse, where it's victory, and then maybe the red horse where we feel like we're just getting slaughtered. The black horse where we're maybe having challenge measuring our resources right. Are we using our time wisely, our money, our food, or just all of that, like that. So let me back up for a minute. Let's talk about the 4 horsemen first. So the Lamb, the vision. We'll just do a high summary of the vision as it continues. John is seeing the Lamb start to break the seals on the scroll. And with the first seal, and with each seal that's broken, we get a little additional piece of the vision. So when the first seal is broken, we're told a white horse appears, and it is able to have victory in battles. I think it was a little bit more than that. But the white horse, that's a common symbology. The white horse, the hero, victory, battles. And then we have the red horse with the second seal. And this is where that horse and rider have a sword, and they go around, they slaughter and destroy. And then the black horse has scales, balancing scales. And that one of the elders speaks up and says, make sure you measure your bread, and be careful not to use all of your olive oil and wine. So it's talking about bread. And so I took that to mean in a practical way, just our resources. Are you using your time well? Are you making sure that you're working hard, being diligent, being productive so that you have enough? Or are you being wasteful? Anyway, that was the one, how I took it. I don't know if that's right or wrong. And then there's a pale green horse, which is the death and the grave. And they go throughout the world, killing a quarter of the world with famine, disease, and wild animals. Then we have, so that was the 4 horsemen. And then we have, we're given a vision of a big crowd of people, the martyrs. They're given white robes. They're getting impatient. They're like, when is it going to be our turn? When do we get to come back and be recognized? And they're told to be patient, and they're given white robes, and that their time will come. And then we go to the 6th seal, and everybody else on the earth, rulers, generals, kings, free people, slaves, like everybody, they run and take cover in caves, and they're begging for rocks to fall on them so they don't have to face the wrath of the one on the throne and the wrath of the Lamb. So they're, anyway, I was like, whoa, you can see why I'm like, whoa, what do we do with all this? So anyway, I'm going to do my best. Because I know it probably has historical significance and is prophetic and all of that, but whatever happens out here in the world also happens in here. That is part of the message of the Bible. Like, we are the world walking out around. We are God. God is in us. We are in him. So anything that's out in the world also kind of happens at a macro level, happens on a micro level within. So that's where I'm going with this. And do we not have seasons in our life where maybe the good part of us wins out and it's like, when are we going to live the life that I know we can live? That war between the little devil on one shoulder, little angel on the other. That's sort of what I took with the last two seals. And that we even go through seasons where we're having victory. We're prepared for battle. We're more victorious than we are not victorious. And then seasons where it's like, no matter what, the hits just keep coming. Seasons where maybe we do experience some sort of famine or disease, whether it's literally in the body or spiritually, emotionally, where we're just feeling pressed on all sides, as Paul said. And then where our resources, we might not be using our resources as well as we know we could, and things get out of balance. So I think there's some truth in that. And that we go through, the metaphorical, just like we have seasons in the world, well, at least depending on where you are. I guess we all have seasons. Like, some of us experience them depending on which hemisphere we're in, where it's more cold and shorter daylight hours and all of that. And then we have, the death and renewal of life as we go through the seasons. And that's really metaphorical of even ours. And so that was sort of the metaphor that I was seeing with the 4 horsemen. And then the 3 additional seals that are going to be broken, and 3 additional scenes that we're going to be given. I think we have to wait for chapter 8 before we get to the 7th seal. So tomorrow should be interesting with chapter 7. But that there's part of us that, that we're always in that struggle and in that divide. And sometimes we think it's out here and with these things, but really it's a reflection of what's going on inside. How are you handling things? What's your attitude? What's your perspective? And the journey of the Christian life and the spiritual life is one of getting to a place of maybe eternal peace with all of the ups and downs, seasons of life, and not actually being as caught up in it or reactive to it, but learning how to live with it and in it without being ruled by it. As I'm kind of looking at it and seeing it. So this is some interesting stuff. This will be, I knew it would be, with all that I've heard about Revelation, that this would be a challenge for me. We're going to finish on a challenging, super intellectually, spiritually, emotionally challenging note for the year in this adventure of rising and shining and really devouring the Bible and some of the, like, what does it mean? How is it practical? How is it practical to me as a reader, as a human 2,000 years after a lot of the events that are depicted in it? And it really is, like, the human experience is pretty consistent. There's a pattern to it. There's probably not many humans that have walked this earth, if any, that have not experienced a war within, or have gone through seasons where things are clicking and rolling along and you're on the white horse, or where you've got one of the other 3 going on, more under the sword, more under the weight of weights and resources, or even seasons of illness, death, facing mortality, and the things, and again, to the different aspects of ourselves, not always literally. We can be sick in spirit. We can be mentally struggling and out of balance. So anyway, this is what I got for you today. And it is a Saturday and a week before Christmas of the year 2022. Look at that. So beautiful. So beautiful. Beautiful. And we're going to go visit family today and start some Christmas festivities, eat some yummy food and fellowship and play games and all the good stuff. So have a wonderful day wherever you are. And if you're reading the book of Revelation along with me, I would love to know if part of what we're reading, or any of what we're reading, all of what we're reading, how it speaks to you in a practical way. What do these visions mean for you? What are they speaking to your spirit? What is the Spirit teaching you? Anyway, talk to you later.